Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to my sewing room. I just wanted to, could someone let me know if there's a feedback issue with noise? Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to my sewing room. I just wanted to, could someone let me know if there's a feedback issue with noise? Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to my sewing room. Oh, there is, right, okay, hold on 2 seconds. It's gone now. Right, okay, lovely. I've got you set up on my phone, and then I've also got you set up on my laptop. The feedback, the noise should go now. I had the washing machine on, and it was on full spin cycle, so I've gone and shut that off. I just wanted to do a quick live this morning. I just thought I'd show you around my sewing room. And if there's any questions that anyone wanted to ask about my sewing, about my sewing room, about any of my machines, any problems that you're having yourself that you might want answers to that I may be able to answer, just a catch up really, just for anyone, if anyone wanted to ask any questions about what I do, why I sew, anything really. So I was going to start off with my fabric stash because it is quite substantial. I've got all of my fabric is set up inside my sewing table, which is on wheels, so I can actually move it around the room, which is handy because if I need to use the room for a secondary purpose, then I can move it right out of the way. I've got... So as I say, yeah, I've got majority of my fabric inside the sewing table, which is built out of 2 Kallax units with a dining table, pine dining table top to it. Oh, I'm being asked for cuddles. Say hi to everyone, Luna. Say hello. Hello. So I also have a huge amount of fabric that's stashed into boxes. I also have black bin liners in the loft full of upholstery fabric that I acquired from different places. I've got you all set up on my laptop as well, so if you did want to ask questions, I can see the live chat that's coming through on there. I'm going to start off by moving you guys around the room. So my sewing room is the front room of our house. It used to be the dining room, but it was a room that only got used once in a blue moon when my parents came down for sort of Sunday lunch and different things like that. So it just seemed silly that the room was only being used sort of 4 or 5 times a month. So my husband suggested that I move out of the spare room upstairs and move into the bigger room downstairs. So I'm now down here. So I'm going to quickly spin you around the room. Hopefully you won't get too dizzy. So I have all of my machines are behind me. So I have my 2 overlockers, well, 2 of my overlockers are set up here. I have my Juki HZL DX7, which my husband bought me for Christmas, on that table there. I also have my Baby Lock Coverstitch set up next to it. So I kind of like to have my overlockers together. One is threaded up with white, one's threaded up with black. My Juki is my main machine now. The table that the overlockers are sat on is actually the table for my industrial machine, which I've removed the head unit from for now, which is sat over on the left-hand side of that table. But I mean, it slots in and belts up really quickly, so if I do need to use it, it's not an issue. All the wiring and everything's still intact. So underneath my table, I have, let me squeeze it in there. Underneath my table, I have all of my PDF patterns are in little plastic sleeves. and they are folded up nice and neatly with the instructions in there as well. These are plastic sleeves that you would use for garments for posting and packing, because anything that I make to sell goes in one of those, just to keep it sealed and fresh on the way to its new owner. The tub underneath there is full of paper for printing PDFs. I have another box underneath the table, which at the moment has got a cushion. Bear with me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. That is another Amazon delivery of diaries and different things for this year. So in here I have some of my... I have a pillow that I use for stuffing because it's cheaper than buying polyfill. I have some bag making stabiliser, and I have some synthetic ostrich skin leather. I've also got a load of PDFs in there that need sorting out. On the floor next to it at the moment, I have the Husqvarna Rose, which is a... Let me see if I can get that out so I can show you. It is a Husqvarna Rose. It's an embroidery digital machine, but it also has no embroidery unit with it. I have a big box full of fabric that needs sorting. Most of it is remnants. I have a bag of pre-made stock which I use, which is client orders, customer orders. There's a hat in there as well which I made. There is a box full of I don't know what. This is a camera that is used for 360-degree photos, which I've never even used. That's full of interfacing. And then I have a box here full of pre-cut squares to make a patchwork quilt with, which were cut out about 4 years ago, and I have not done anything with them. There's my Juki hardcover. In this box down here, I have 1,000,001 zips, which I bought in a bulk sale, so I never need to buy a zip ever again, I don't think. This is Big 4 patterns. That is more PDF patterns, mainly small children's size ones, which is why they're all in sandwich bags. And I've also got a few Big 4 vintage patterns in there as well. This box is full of overlocker cones. And then I have, in this storage unit down here, I have a Luna that wants a stroke. I have all of my elastic, notions, bias binding, and cotton twill tape. Don't know what's in that one. This one's full of random junk, and it's full of sewing books. This one is full of mainly needles. I mean, how many needles does one person need? This one is full of junk that needs sorting out. Then let me raise this up. Apologies for the shakiness of this. I'm trying to keep it as still as possible. Let me raise you up a bit. Right, so this one here, this is all of my rainbow variety of moon threads. These are all my 1,000-meter Guttermans. These are all of my other Gutterman threads. This selection in the middle here is specifically for denim. I then have another box full of thread. This is full of black moon threads, which I use on the overlocker. I've got some Orifil spools. These are all bro thread. I have, over this side, I have my vintage Benina 1230 printer for PDFs. My new steam iron that my husband bought me for Christmas. And that is pretty much it. I'm going to leave you set up just looking at those for 2 seconds, just the puppy has awoke and he needs to go out to the toilet. I won't be a sec. So I'm back. He is in the garden. I will let him back in a second. So underneath my industrial table, I have a vintage Singer, which I have still yet to use. That was really generously given to me by a friend. I have a vintage Jones machine, which only does a straight stitch, but it does a really, really stunning straight stitch. So that does get used every now and then. The only thing is it's got an electric conversion motor and it is quite hard to control, so I don't use it that much. So the Kallax table. This is all woven. This is all woven underneath. Then I have vintage worsted wools. I'm just going to quickly check to see if anyone has any questions. What is my next project? I'm currently working on another cherry jumpsuit for a customer that specifically asked it to resemble a particular type of jumpsuit. So those are my worsted wools. Down here is some random jersey. I have some really nice French terry, some viscose jersey, and all of my quilting cottons that I was really generously sent by So Yeah Quilting. I've got some cuddle fleece, which is the devil's spawn because it goes everywhere. This is white cotton toweling. Then I've got fleece, toweling, sweatshirt fleece, more fleece, and then the final box down this side is all full of denim. So I'm just going to go and quickly let Dobby back in. Right, let's move round to the other side of the table. Shift that over a sec. So the other side of the table is mainly all cotton lycra. No, actually that's a lie. This one down here is all cotton lycra. This one here is all licensed and unlicensed cotton lycra. So I've got some with Gizmo, I've got some with E.T., some Alice in Wonderland, which some of you may know I have a slight obsession with. I've got a bit of Wizard of Oz fabric in there as well. Underneath that box is all of my swim fabric. I've got another bundle down here, which is all full of double brush poly, which I've been able to somehow miraculously managed to get hold of. Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room was really generous and sent me some. That is Luna, not Luna, that is Dobby winding up our older dog Kyla because she doesn't like him. Down here, this is all sweatshirt, sweater knit and French terry. This one here is licensed and unlicensed French terry. I've got some Beetlejuice fabric in there, which is... I've had that for probably about 2 years and I'm terrified to cut into it because it's really hard to get hold of and I don't know what I want to do with it. I'm probably going to make myself a raglan sweatshirt out of it with a contrast sleeve so I don't use it all up in one go. This is Hocus Pocus. Sweatshirt, rayon blend, jersey, viscose jersey and a jacquard knit fabric, which was really kindly given to me by my friend Michelle. And I think in terms of fabric, that is pretty much it. So yeah, as I say, it is at the moment quite well organised. But it just depends on what state the sewing room is in when I decide to use it. So does anyone have any questions? Hi, Anne. So yeah, as I was saying, my next project is a cherry jumpsuit. It is being made from a polyester twill fabric. And at the moment I have got as far as making, let me see if I can actually get this in the frame properly. So at the moment I've managed to get the pockets and the main part of the bodice made up. The collar is self-drafted because the collar that comes with the cherry jumpsuit actually is a normal collar and it splits at the back. So this is completely self-drafted because I didn't want it to split in the centre, which is all interfaced and top stitched at the moment. So this is a polyester twill fabric. It's a very odd fabric. I've never worked with that before, but it does come together quite nicely. One of my Christmas presents from my friend Penny was my mannequin pincushion, which holds one of my seam rippers. And I think that is pretty much it for my sewing room. There's encouragement. How many stitches does a Juki do? I actually don't know how many it does in total. I think it does about 380. It has, let me see if I can raise this up quickly so that I can actually use it on the floor without bashing it into the ceiling, because our ceilings are really low. So the Juki, I think it has about 380 stitches. I'm not 100% sure on that. It, my favourite stitch, which I still haven't got around to using, well, I say it's my favourite stitch, it's the one that I like the look of the most, is there's a stitch on here that basically does a sewing machine embroidered stitch. So I am going to, as soon as that's threaded up and switched on, I'm going to have a go at seeing what that actually stitches out like. This is if I can work out how it actually how to actually select it from the menu, because it's a bit of a minefield. So let's chuck that under. So as the automatic foot lifter on there, so you just press the button and it lifts. It has an automatic thread cutter, needle up, needle down, speed selection, stitch on the spot, reverse stitch, and the go button if you're not plugged in with the foot pedal, which I am. So the stitch that I want is stitch 40, and it is in the, what menu? How do I get into that menu? That's the question. It's not 1, 2, 3. It is that one that looks like a moon. So let's select stitch 40, which is a, I don't know whether you can see that. Let me see if I can get in there. So it actually stitches out a sewing machine, which I've got a variegated Gutterman orange thread in there at the moment. So let's see what it does, shall we? This is when I find out I've probably got a jersey needle in here rather than a woven. Apologies if you can hear a lot of dog noise. Dobby has awoken, he's out of his pen, and that means that he will just continually play with Luna now until I go and tell him to stop. So automatic thread cutter, lifts to press the foot so you can take the fabric out straight away. So that, I don't know if you can see, let me trim the excess threads off. That is the cutest little stitch I've ever seen. They're quite wide, the stitches on the Juki, I have to say. If you're doing decorative stitches, they are really wide. So that is, I don't know if you can see that, this sewing machine that it does. Which obviously has not come out brilliant because I've got no stabiliser, and this is quite a thin, lightweight cotton. The other thing it does as well is it does a stitch which stitches out the word handmade. Let me fold this over again just so it's got a bit more stability, and I will quickly show you how it does that one. So it is number 47. Where is that gone to sewing machine still? Ha, there we go. So we'll click OK on that. So yeah, it does. This is something that I want to incorporate into some of my handmade clothing that I sell. So it actually stitches out the word handmade. The quality of the stitch on this I cannot fault. And it is actually, it probably sounds really loud on the video, but it's actually a really quiet machine. So when it does the stitch, once it comes to the end, it will just do its own tacking stitch. And then it finishes, so you can just press cut and remove the fabric. So this is one of the nicest things that I like about this machine, is that it does preloaded words. So hopefully you'll be able to see that. So that is the word handmade, which obviously if it wasn't in a variegated thread, you'd probably be able to read it easier. But it is stunning the way that it stitches things out. Let's see if I can see if there's anything that anyone's asking. I will come and teach you how to use Queenie at some point. Made by Pam, scallop stitch. Ah, yes, that's what it is. It's not too loud, is it, Pam? I was quite surprised when it was when I first got it, because the machine is so big and such a beast of a machine. I was a bit worried that it was going to be really noisy, but I'm quite impressed with how silent it is as well. There is a function on it that you can combine stitches, where you can, it shows on here, it shows examples of combination stitches. So this one here is a mirror image of stitch 75 combined with 74 and 75 again on the normal way round. So you can actually do these lace stitches on it, which I need to figure out. I need to just get the manual out and read it properly. But I want to figure out how to do these, because what you'd actually be able to do is, I think you'd be able to combine a row of sewing machines to the left-hand side, then the word handmade, and then another row of sewing machines, or possibly there's like a needle and thread, and there's a thread reel, and I think there's a pair of scissors on here as well somewhere. But it does like crowns and bows, and it does so many different stitches, but I just haven't got my head around it. The buttonholes are really good as well, because it does a stretch buttonhole. It does the keyhole buttonholes, which are great for jeans, which none of my other machines do a keyhole. So I'm quite glad that I've got that now, because I do make my own jeans. And there's other stretch buttonholes and different things as well. It also does what looks like a Christmas tree, but it's not. So it does. It's what I love about it as well is it's got an auto tension setting on it, so you don't have to change the tension settings on it ever. Well, I haven't had to yet. Oh, your brother combines stitches. I may have to pick your brains about that then, Pam, because I cannot get my head around how to combine them. So that is the Juki. I will just move away from. I don't even know how to remove that stitch. As you can see, I have not really used many of the stitches on this yet. I have used straight stitch, the zigzag, and the applique stitch. but I have not really had a huge amount of spare time recently to play around with it. So this is my Coverstitch. This is my Baby Lock BLCS, which is just the standard Baby Lock Coverstitch. This I use for all of my knits. I also use it for some of my wovens. I put a picture up on Instagram, I think it was, of one of the, I think I put a picture up of the linen t-shirt that I made my mum for Christmas. That I use the Coverstitch for as well, because it also stops the linen from fraying if you can manage to catch the edge of the linen inside. This is air threaded down the bottom for the looper thread. So basically you push the thread through the little hole at the top here, pump the lever, and then it pings the thread through into a little catch tray here. So there's no faffing with trying to get tweezers in there and thread the loopers, so that is handy. And I think that's it really for my sewing room tour. I've pretty much shown you everything that would be remotely interesting. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ping me a message through my Instagram, which is Adam Sews. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you want to see anything in particular, give me a shout and I can go through it with you. I will be doing a tutorial soon for a subscriber that requested a tutorial for the polo t-shirt, the polo top from Sinclair Patterns. Dobby, where are you? That's never a good sign if he doesn't answer, because it normally means that he's doing something that he shouldn't be. Oh, he has arrived. Let me see if I can find him. Dobbs, come here. Come here. What are you doing? Here he is. He does like to seem to put his feet on my face at the moment for everything. But he's getting he's getting very big very quick. But he is super affectionate for a puppy. And he does like to be perched on your shoulder. It is, what time is it here? Pam, it is 11:32 in the morning. So, yeah, I think that's it for me today. I just wanted to show everyone around. Oh, Lord. I just wanted to show everyone around. As you can see, this dog tries to escape everything. He's got a playpen that is actually cable tied to his crate, and he still manages to get out of it somehow. So, thanks everyone for joining me. I will see you all on Friday for this week's Friday Sews, and I'll go through some of the things that I've been making through the week. I've got a million things that I need to get done. It's 4:33 in the morning here. Pam, why are you awake? Oh, that's a horrible time of morning. I think the last time I saw that time of morning was when I got up to go on a holiday about 9 years ago, because I had to be at the airport for 6 o'clock in the morning. Although saying that, my other half is up at 2:30 every morning, so he sees 4:30 every day. I don't. So I will love you and leave you all. I will see you all soon, and I will see you, well, I'll see you on Friday for this week's Friday Sews. Thanks for joining me, guys. Pam is a member of the Wide Awake Club. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you all soon.